My name's Mark, this is Middle School Group, and I'm glad we get to connect. I don't know if I look like it, but I am tired. I have not been sleeping well this week, and I'm so glad for the scriptures, for the friends that I have in the church. But I will tell you this, especially during this time of COVID and all the stuff that's going on, if I'm not eating well, sleeping well, and getting some regular exercise outside, it is really hard to live out the truths of the scriptures. It's hard enough as it is, but if you're not getting those basic needs met, man, it's tough. Let's do what we can to take care of our bodies. It's a wonderful gift from God to have the bodies we have. I don't know what Gabby's got planned for today, but I'm sure it's going to be good.
Hey y'all, I'm back. Lately, everybody's been telling me stuff like, Gabby, you're so funny. Gabby, you're so talented. Gabby, your creativity knows no bounds. Gabby, what are you doing? Gabby, why did you say that? Gabby, are you sure? And Gabby, you are iconic. So in light of all that, this week we're going to learn how to be more funny. And it all starts with your laugh. First you gotta practice. Try different laughs out. Go high. Or go low. Try all around, just like a roller coaster. And lastly, silent, classic, wheezing for breath. Second, you gotta be unexpected. Do something like don't shave your legs, or like mix applesauce and ketchup and mayonnaise and ranch together all at once during your lunchtime, and then tell someone to dare you to eat it and then eat it. Or you can also just say, get it, after anything else, like this. It's a crock, get it? Those are balloons, do you get it? That's my husband, do you get it? I got his hand, do you get it? Lastly, comedy requires patience. Sometimes the best part of a joke is the pause, like this. I'm wearing a hat, get it? Now we'll try different ways. And then after that, he said, but then I was all... Thank you for coming to my TED Talks. Please send all questions to Mark Lemire at facebook.com. Bye.
Well, I recorded this video before I saw the video that Gabby just did, but laughter, I'm sure, is the appropriate response to what we just watched. I was talking with a friend recently, and he shared a story about when he was really young. He went to a Ducks football game, but it was up at the University of Washington Stadium in Seattle. And he was only 7 or 8 at the time, but he went to this game, and the fans inside the stadium, especially a couple of them, were so rude to the Ducks fans, including my friend and his family, that they actually ended up leaving the game early, and my friend broke down in tears. He was only 7 or 8, but he was just so hurt that they were so mean, and there's just no kindness at all towards them. And I'm sure that if we were living in Seattle, we'd probably have stories about Ducks fans being rude and stuff. But isn't it sad that we can get that way as humans, that my group is so much greater than your group, and we get into these little tribes or these little cliques, and we just start to hate the other groups. And that's not a God thing, a God way of living. That's not the way the kingdom is designed to work. And I'm so thankful for the passage we're going to read today, because it really pushes back on this thing that we're experiencing in our culture, I think, right now. Especially you see it in politics. People say, I'm a part of this party, and then they really rail against and are mad at the other party, the other group, right? And it's these 2 groups or 3 groups, really going at it. And anyway, this passage is so great for us And I hope that we can all listen with open hearts and receive from the Lord grace to live the way He wants us to live. We're in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 6. And we just read the previous week in verse 5 about being adopted into God's family. Verse 6 says this, "So we praise God for the glorious grace that He has poured out on us who belong to His dear Son." This idea of belonging. Praise God that we belong. So powerful to belong, to be wanted and to be needed. Praise God. Let's talk about that, because that's a huge theme in all of these verses. If you haven't experienced this yet, I encourage you this week, set aside 5 or 10 minutes, find a song that you can sing to that really just thanks God for all the good things He's done in your life. I know for me there's a song called "Be Praised" by Maverick City Music, and it's just been a real blessing to me. And I know that when I praise God, it puts me in my place, that I'm just a human, I'm just made of dust, but I know this glorious God who's so kind, so great. He's adopted me, made me belong as part of His family. And out of that security, it's so much easier, so much better to include people. It makes you want to include people because you have this deep sense of being included. And I want to fast forward to later in Ephesians, verse chapter 4. Listen to this. Paul says, "Therefore, because of all these things that we're talking about in chapters 1, 2, and 3, I, a prisoner, serving the Lord, beg you, lead a life worthy of your calling, the calling to belong. For you've been called by God. Always be humble and gentle, patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love." Right? This belonging just gets the love going in our hearts, and we can say, you know what? I know you messed up, but I love you so much. I'm just going to let that slide and forgive you. Then this, make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit. Bind yourselves together with peace. It's already true of us that we belong. We belong together. But there's some work to be done if we're going to continue through life united together. And it's so important for us to be in this place, to praise God, to exalt God, to remember God and all the amazing, wonderful things He's done. And this week, Paul and the Scriptures and the Spirit are speaking to us and inviting us to remember that we belong and to extend that sense of belonging to others. Would you pray with me? Lord, we're so grateful for the Scriptures and this word to us. Help us to believe that we belong. We love you. You are great and greatly to be praised. Amen. Well, it feels so good to hear that word from the Spirit that I belong. I know that you love me, and I sure love you. Let's go love each other.